Okay, so when I said last week things were getting crazy, and the week before I said things were getting crazy, this time I actually mean it. Because now these two schools competing against each other in this sister school exchange event, and there's like this mini tournament thingy going on, where kill the demon, and all that stuff. Yeah, that's done. Things just got real. Okay, the bad guys have arrived, and I honestly have no clue what's gonna happen from here. But honestly, this episode was fantastic. You know, honestly, Jujutsu Kaisen, it only gets better. Like, I say that to everybody I'm talking to, this show it blows me away. How they make me care so much about everything that goes down. So, when we first start the episode, it's Megumi versus Kamo. I know that's like his family name, but that's the only name I know him by. And they're fighting, and Kamo has this... At first I thought they were arrow curses, right? I was like, okay, it's the archer, you know, he's shooting arrows, that's his whole curse thing, but no. No. Kamo's curse is blood manipulation. That's sort of the thing that he uses. And apparently, this blood manipulation was the hereditary technique of the Kamo family, which is one of the three great houses or clans or whatever, along with the Zenin clan, right? And it's interesting because we actually get some backstory on Kamo, and apparently he wasn't even like the true heir biologically. You know, his mother was a prostitute. However, he got the technique of blood manipulation, and so they made him the heir over the trueborn son who didn't get the technique. Dude, this world is so freaking messed up, it boggles my mind. That's not to say that, like, he's no less of a son or doesn't deserve to be in the family. I'm just saying that they only value people with the technique, and that is so messed up. You know how Gojo was saying that his goal is, like, to fix the way things are currently with the hierarchy of the schools, and probably even broader in the world of curses? Like, I get it, bro. I get it now. Gojo, he's got his work cut out for him. Regardless, though, the fight was really cool. I loved how Kamo got to open his eye, and it was crazy. Basically, his blood manipulation is, as far as I can tell, he can manipulate blood. So if he puts blood on the arrows that he was shooting, he's able to control them, right? And he's able to throw out, like, packets of blood and then, like, wrap them around. And it's actually really interesting. I thought it was a very fascinating sequence of events. And I wonder, like, how far you could take that technique. You know, like, can you control the blood in someone's body? Probably not, or maybe he hasn't mastered that, because if so, it's kind of busted. It was cool too because Megumi, we got to see him throw down, and he's someone who uses the Shikigami or whatever, right? You know, the hand motions, and it's super cool, but he's also really good at hand-to-hand, and this episode he even busted out a sword, and I know in an episode previously that was kind of like a thing, was he wanted to learn how to utilize weapons, but his problem was that it slowed him down because he needed to use his hands to summon his creatures. So it was really interesting. I want to see more of that because he seems to have a new weapon now, and I want to see what happens there. Also, we learned that the skill that Megumi has, the Shikigami, is hereditary, and it's kind of rare. He's able to summon many of them at a time, you know, and it's pretty valued in the Zenin family, I guess. I know Kamo said something like, oh, if only Mai or Maki had that power. I really want to know what made Megumi split from the family, aside from them being total jerks. And I want to see more of that, you know? Like, we know he had a messed up past, someone who was close to him died tragically. Who was she though? Like, what exactly happened? I need to see more of Megumi. And then we get to see Inumaki, and we finally get to see his curse technique a lot more this episode. You know, we'd only seen it, I think, once when he stopped Todo, when Todo was fighting Megumi. That was really the only time we'd seen it, but now we see Kasumi, who had lost her sword, and she's just like, what do I do? And then Inumaki calls her up, because they took Mekamaru's phone, I assume is how they got that. And he says, sleep. And she just sleeps, bro. She just sleeps. Like, this is the most overpowered ability ever. And then, of course, we see it later on. He's using it more. He's able to freeze, Hanami? Hanami. Dude, I got it first try. Let's go. He's able to freeze Hanami, and it's like, dude, Inumaki is crazy. I want to see what else he can do if he's gifted at hand-to-hand, and what? You can't really say kill, I'm assuming, or die, or whatever, so I'm wondering how he fights, aside from freezing and sleep, or whatever. I'm very curious. But then, of course, the tree demon, Hanami, and all the other bad guys show up, or at least 2 of them, right? Like, things are about to get crazy. Right now it's mostly Hanami, and Hanami is interesting because it's a demon, she's a demon, who cares about the planet, and thinks that most humans are essentially hindrances to the planet. And it's one of those things where I have something in my eye. It's one of those things where, like, the demon's not technically wrong, you know what I mean? So you can kind of see where they're coming from, obviously taking it to an extreme. But, the volcano guy, Jogo, right? He's someone who's like, oh, I like killing, and evil people need to exist, or demons need to exist because we're like, what emotion is pure? We're pure emotion, whatever. Dude, Hanami actually kind of has a decent goal, pretty straightforward, but I like it, There's also a new villain who's kind of like a butcher guy. He wants to kill Gojo and hang him up as a rack, like a coat rack. That's fun. And what's super interesting is this guy put up a veil that allowed everybody except Gojo to enter, which was the opposite of what he wanted, but it kind of worked out because Gojo is obviously so OP. So Gojo, for now, cannot participate in this fight. So I'm really curious how everybody's gonna, handle it. So right now it's Hanami versus like Kamo, Megumi, and Inumaki. However, in the opening, I think we see Todo and Yuji show up and fight the tree guy, Hanami. So I'd love to know how that happens and what's going on there. But we also get to see Megumi and his new technique, the elephant thing, Max Elephant, it shoots out like water and stuff. I want to see him use that against Hanami. Dude, things are about to get crazy. And last but definitely not least, is Principal. The principal of the Kyoto school, I believe, can freaking play guitar and also just run around and kind of be cool. This guy he's trying to kill Yuji, so obviously not a fan of that. However, if he can throw down, and play the guitar and take out this butcher guy, I'll respect it, I think I can respect it. But yeah, this episode's another 9 out of 10 at least, I can't really think of any flaws. I love the focus we're getting on these new characters. Again, I'm a side characters guy. I'm a sucker for all this character development and such. I'm very curious who's gonna end up where, who's fighting what's gonna happen, and just how it's all gonna go down. I hope that everybody comes out unscathed, because, it's like, okay, the main 3, people like Panda even, like, you have a feeling they're gonna stick around. I just really hope one of these new students from Kyoto, one of these new characters, something doesn't happen to them. Like, because they're, like, in those cases, it's almost like I can see it, which makes it scary. So this threat is definitely intimidating, and I'm excited to find out what goes down. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed another JJK review. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. I'm gonna do these every single Saturday until the series finishes, of course, and maybe I'll do some kind of wrap-up. But I love talking about it. I love Jujutsu Kaisen. It's like my favorite thing right now. I seriously cannot stop talking about it. So if you want to see more content on Jujutsu Kaisen, then definitely subscribe and become a part of our community. And with that, I'll see you guys in my next Jujutsu Kaisen review. Take care.